Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of R.C.W. Top 10. I apologize if this is not very good because I already recorded one today because I'm recording this a week in advance, but I'm pretty damn sure nothing's going to change for this list. This week, we're going to be counting down the top 10 gimmicks that couldn't-shouldn't change. Now, what we mean by that is these people are so passionate to their one and only, or, well, one particular gimmick, and it is just so, it works so well for them that they shouldn't change. And, if they change, I don't know how successful they would be otherwise. You get my point? So, let's get to number 10. Coming in at number 10. Now, it's a little different because this guy doesn't necessarily play a gimmick, but what he does is passionate to what he's supposed to be, and it is technically the Lord of Darkness, Gimmicks. Now, if we were counting Raw WWE, this guy would probably be number 1. This guy has been the Lord of Darkness, or whatever particular name he wants, for as long as I can remember, because I tried to do it in Raw WWE, and he corrected me saying that he is, in fact, the only Lord of Darkness. I don't know. I guess it could be the Undertaker. It could have the Ministry of Darkness. Anything with a general concept of the Lord of Darkness, and that is Gimmicks coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is Gorsha. Now, while he doesn't dress like him, and he doesn't particularly act like him, I think all of us know that he is supposed to be Ric Flair, if you ever truly knew the guy. Whether or not he dresses like him, he will always be the limousine riding, the high flying, the jet flying, the kiss stealing, the wheeling dealing, son of a gun, Ric Flair. That wasn't the right order, but don't blame me. So pretty much, mostly all he does is say, woo! But you get my point, is that generally, if he switched to someone such as Hulk Hogan or something, it just wouldn't work as well as it would Ric Flair. So that is Gorsha coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, to avoid confusion, this is not Dean Ambrose Lunatic. Technically, it is Dean Ambrose Lunatic, but we said Tiresome because that's a little less confusing. So it is Tiresome Pew. Now, I cannot personally remember a time that this guy was not being John Cena. He has, been one of Mattis's most loyal, fan base or teammates after constantly being in the C Nation, constantly being Mattis's tag team partner as the C Nation. Now, while Mattis, as Cena, is up higher on this list, I'll tell you that now, that Ross-Tiresome-Dean Ambrose Lunatic has been Cena, been following with Mattis, and it just wouldn't work if the guy turned on Mattis or didn't do something. I mean, sure, it could fuel an interesting rivalry, but generally this guy works as Cena as well, potentially as well as Mattis himself. So that's Dean Ambrose Lunatic, Tiresome Pew, or Ross the Destroyer coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Kyrie Irving. Now, he could be a lot higher on this list, but the reason that he's so much lower on this list is because the guy didn't have a particularly long career and was successful mostly in the rookie division. This guy played RVD as good as anybody else. Now, while the gimmick and the actual foundation of the person may not have been great, every single week he'd come out with the music, he'd, have the attires, he'd dress like him, and he would always do the famous RVD every single time. Just generally, watching this guy come out with the RVD, whether you liked him or not, you'd pretty much always join in on the RVD because that's fan support. So Kyrie Irving as RVD comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6, now these two play the same gimmick. Well, these 2 and 5 and 6 play in the same gimmick, but one has played it quite substantially longer in R.C.W. So coming in at number 6 is the Ultimate Gamer 100. Now the reason that the Ultimate Gamer gets the lower of Kane is because since his debut he has indeed been Kane, but he's been it longer than the guy above him, which you probably already know. It would be hard to imagine this guy as anything besides Kane. Now, he has tried to switch out of it from mask to unmask and eventually trying to transition out of it, but it never truly worked for him, which is why this guy works quite successfully as Kane. So that is the Ultimate Gamer coming in at number 6 with Kane. Coming in at number 5, as I already told you, at number 6, is the Ultimate Killer. Now, I didn't say it, but you probably all assumed it. Ultimate Killer may not come to shows quite often, and, you know, it'd be hard to imagine him as not Kane, but for the time he was active, it was nearly impossible to imagine this guy not wearing a mask or not taking off his mask, not being the devil's favorite demon, the big red monster, Kane. No matter what he was doing, this guy was always Kane, and that was quite alike in some of his time in Raw WWE. So that is the big red monster, the Ultimate Killer, coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Generations. Now, the top 3 all play their gimmicks and have something about them that makes them the gimmick that they are. Generations, however, plays Christian. He comes out to the music, he does some of the stuff, he's teamed with Edge before, he's had rivalries like Christian, but he just doesn't dress like Christian. Does that work better for him? I'd say he works pretty successfully not dressing like Christian, but all in all, Generations is a decent resemblance to that of Christian. He'll win when it's big and he'll have a lot of great moments, but all in all, he's definitely not one of the most accomplished, but he is definitely one that you will remember for quite a long time. With the gimmick of Christian sticking from who knows when, because, well, can you really remember Generations where a time where he wasn't either just Generations or Christian? My point exactly. That's Generations with Christian coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Agent Cool the Best. Now, yes, at the beginning of his career, he was iffy between Randy Orton, the retro version, and Edge, but all in all, he sticked with his opportunistic roots in being Edge, making the Intercontinental Championship prestigious as the ultimate opportunist himself, the master of the spear, and really, although he doesn't particularly dress full-on like Edge, he still has some of the attire, and he's definitely got the opportunistic trait of Edge, and he's got the act, he's got the gimmick down, and it's hard to imagine this guy trying to switch back to Orton or trying to play something new because he just works so well as Edge. So that's Agent Cool the Best coming in at number 3 with Edge. Coming in at number 2 is Y34567. Now, pretty well since we could remember, and since this guy's been in Spotlight, approximately when he joined the Warriors, this guy has just been, Roman Reigns. The explosive Reigns, Roman Reigns, the former World Heavyweight Champion, both main eventing WrestleMania, both in real life and in R.C.W. And wow. How can you picture this guy as anything else? He's tried to be Sami Zayn. He's tried to get, kickstart on Y3J. But all in all, we all keep coming back to see none other than Y2, or Y34567. And that sounds really stupid, but oh well. Y3, the explosive Superman punches, the explosive spears, the ooh-ahs in between and during his matches, and just being the powerhouse of the Warriors. How can you blame him for wanting to be Roman Reigns and for everybody wanting to see this guy be Roman Reigns? That's Y34567 coming in at number 2 as Roman Reigns. And coming in at number 1 is, as you expected, Madness320. Now, this guy has been Cena since the beginning of his career, and by no means should he ever stop. I don't say this because of my own love. I say this because of, well, where would his career be if this guy was anything like CM Punk, someone like Randy Orton, like Edge? This would not work. The thing about him is that he acts never give up. He has similar accomplishments. He's won, the Road WWE Championship. Note it has WWE in it. He's won the United States Championships dozens of times. He's held them for quite a bit, and he's a record holder. All in all, Mattis resembles John Cena with his never-give-up attitude, his slogans, his entrances, throwing the hat, and being passionate for the gimmick ever since November of 2013 and all of his R.C.W. career. And can you honestly imagine Mattis being anything besides John Cena? That is Mattis320 as John Cena coming in at number 1. Thank you, R.C.W. just for checking out this episode of R.C.W. Top 10. That was so botched, but I don't even give up. Anyway, I apologize if this wasn't too great an episode. I mean, I feel like it was better than what I recorded earlier today. We got a shout out to Kung Fu Army down there. I mean, Brooke, if you could just ban him, that'd be pretty great. Anyway, so that is the top 10 most, should not change gimmicks. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't change the gimmicks and that they never will, because, you know, pretty much every gimmick gets tired sometimes. Let's hope it's not for a long, long time. But there's so many people that play consistent gimmicks as themselves, but we tried to stick them to something that actually is a name, usually a WWE or wrestling group, something like that. Anyway, if you don't agree with our list, like I'm sure you don't, feel free to make your own in the comments or in a video, whatever the hell you want to do, and make sure to check out daily content on the R.C.W. network, Sunday through Saturday, top 10s every single weekend, including 2 on pay-per-view weekends. And this is Kids Rock 4, and my beautiful GF Brooksy approving this message.